Some castles are taken with ladders, some with lies. Rochester, that fell to neither. It took 40 fat pigs and a tunnel of black smoke, and a king with a temper hotter than his torches. Pull your stool up a little closer. Let me tell you how a stubborn stone met a craftier fire. I'm Travis, your tavern bard for the evening. Tonight, we travel to the year 1215, a year already sour with broken oaths and that unruly little paper called the Magna Carta. King John, yes, that King John, has a baron problem, and those barons, they have Rochester Castle. After signing Magna Carta in June, John gnawed at his promises like a dog at a bone. By autumn, the peace was nothing but ash. Rochester Castle was perched by the Medway, and it was the lock on the road to London. And the key was in rebel hands. Their leader, William d'Aubigny, a man with more grit than bread in a campaign loaf. John arrives in October, his temper marching beside him. He brings siege engines, mangonels, clacking like devils knitting needles, timber, picks, and men who would rather face the weather than the king's wrath. Rochester's great keep, 4 square towers, thick as winter stew. It shrugged at the first batterings. Ladders? Laughable. Arrows? Just gnats against a bull. So John turns to the miner's art. He had his men crawl like little moles at the base of the corner tower, propping the tunnel with stout timbers. The plan was simple, or so he thought anyways. Burn the props, drop the tower. But wood just smolders, and while stone is stubborn. John demands more fire. He orders, according to chroniclers, 40 of the fattest pigs of the land. Not for dinner. Their rendered fat would feed a fire fierce enough to roast the devil and bring the keep to its knees. The mine is packed. Pitch, brush, and pig fat. One spark, then another. Then the tunnel breathes smoke, just like a dragon. The props shriek, the earth groans, and Rochester's proud corner cascades away in a roar of dust and doom. But broken doesn't mean beaten. The rebels retreat inside, walling off a fallen corner, turning ruins into redoubt. They lived off of horse flesh and leather. That's right. They were eating leather, licking the damp from the stones just to quench their thirst, while November rain needles the besiegers' tents. John presses closer, missiles arc, ladders claw, and the gatehouse, that gatehouse was feeling the king's breath. Inside men count arrows, and boy did they ever say their prayers. Days stretch long, a fortnight, then more. The castle becomes a stone stomach, ruining all hope. Finally, starvation does not argue. d'Aubigny yields, and the garrison staggers out, highborn and humble. They gave it their all. But John's justice is very selective. The lords will live, hostages, ransoms, grudges to be eaten later. Many common soldiers swing under that gray sky. Even a bitter king knows which necks are too valuable to break. Did the fall of Rochester Castle end the quarrel? Hardly. John burned bright and brief, dead the next year. His crown tumbling to a boy, Henry III. Magna Carta, that unruly paper, would not go quietly. Back into the ink pot, it returned, revised, and reissued like a weed between paving stones. Rochester taught a lesson many have relearned. Stone resists, but people endure. Sometimes victory is a broken corner and the will to keep fighting behind it. Sometimes defeat is a king who is today and loses tomorrow. 40 pigs to roast a keep. Remember that next time someone says history is boring. If this tale scratched your itch for iron and ink, subscribe and ring the bell. Drop a comment with the next siege, saint, or scoundrel you want to hear about. And if you like the Bard by the Fire, share the tavern with a friend.